Hi, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's Future Enterprise Series live webinar brought to you by Enterprise Asia. Today's subject will focus on sustainability is the key to economic recovery, especially post-COVID-19. I really appreciate the audience for being with us today. My name is Niven Huang from KPMG, and I am your moderator for today's webinar. Before we start, I would like to make a very brief introduction about the organizers, speakers, and also the logistic issues. Enterprise Asia is the organizer for the series Enterprise Future Enterprise Series webinar. Enterprise Asia is a regional non-governmental organization that works with government, NGOs, and other organizations to promote entrepreneurship, sustainability, innovation, and growth across Asia. Under the sustainability pillar, there are three main programs in Enterprise Asia. First one is Asia Responsible Enterprise Award. This is an annual awards recognition program which aims to honor deserving Asia businesses for championing sustainable development and responsible business practices. The second one is International CSR and Sustainability Summit. This event was organized every year. The summit gathered the world's top CSR expert and practitioner to engage in the most stirring conversation in CSR and ESG strategy today, while providing a platform for attendees to shape Asia towards a more sustainable and progressive market. The third one is the carbon champion, and this is an independent third-party endorsement and authentications of low carbon and carbonization efforts of organizations globally. The webinar is under the big umbrella of a Future Enterprise series. This was bought by the Enterprise Asia, and this is an integral thought leadership and inspirational sharing by business leader and entrepreneur on strategy and experiences in addressing increasing challenging business landscape across Asia. So before we start to introduce today's three distinguished speakers, I would like to request all of the participants right now in the live webinar to respond our poll question. We have an international arena of audience today, so I would like to invite you just to provide us some of the background information in the FB comment to know us. Which country you are from and which sector you belong to. So this information can also make our distinguished speaker to understand today's audience background. So I would like to let you to feedback on the FB comment and then for 30 seconds. Yeah, please let us know which country you are from and also which sector you belong to. Thank you very much. Before we officially start our conversations, and I would like to introduce today the three distinguished speakers. The first one is Mr. Joseph Huang, as the CEO, President of E.Sun Commercial Bank and E.Sun Financial Holding from Taiwan. Since Mr. Joseph Huang's appointment as the CEO of E.Sun Financial Holding in year of 2008, Mr. Huang has steered the company toward a number of achievements as a really super company from Taiwan financial sector. He is also the CEO of E.Sun Volunteer and Social Welfare Foundation and a number of CSR committee at E.Sun Financial Holding Company. He actually incorporates ESG into business strategy and development of E.Sun Financial Holding. E.Sun Financial Holding is also the only one Taiwanese company, financial holding company, has ever been listed in Dow Jones Sustainability Index, DJSI, for 6 years in a row, and is ranked #1 in Asia and also #3 in the global financial holding industry. He has received a lot of quite outstanding award. Also, the best CEO by different financial organization in Asia. So, very congratulate to Mr. Joseph Huang, and also our honor to have you with us this webinar today. Thank you very much. The second one I would like to introduce Nintira Abhisinha, Senior Vice President of and also the Corporate Sustainability Development and Standard, the Bangchak Corporation Public Company Limited from Thailand. The Bangchak Group is a Thai-listed public company engaging in refinery and service station business. The company is recognized as its green power plant, renewable energy with solar power, hydropower, wind power, and thermal power, with investment in bio-based products, natural resource, and business development. Nintira earned bachelor degrees in marketing and Chulalongkorn University, Thailand, and an MBA degrees in the Case Western Reserve University, Cleveland, United States. Her responsibility right now at Bangchak has been in the area of finance and corporate strategy, and also currently responsible for the corporate sustainability and corporate standardization. So highly welcome to join us this afternoon. The third speaker I would like to introduce is Mr. Wassmer. He is the Senior Executive Vice President and Head of the Institutional Banking Group of BDO Unibank Incorporation from Philippines, where he is also a member of the Management Committee of BDO Unibank. It's the biggest bank in the Philippines in terms of asset size. His professional career covers years of banking experience with stints in Far East Bank and the Trust Company, Union Bank of the Philippines, Bangkok Finance Corporation, and IFC Leasing and Acceptance Corporation. He first started off with the EBC Investment Incorporation, a wholly owned investment house of Equitable Banking Corporation in September 1997 as the Senior Vice President and Head of Corporate Finance. He became Head of the Retail Banking segment from May of year of 2007 to May 2006 to May 2007. Welcome, Mr. Wassmer, to join us this afternoon. Thank you so much. Now I'd like to start today's discussion about the subject on sustainability is the key for economic recovery post-COVID-19. I think all of us, we have already suffered from the huge impact by COVID-19. So the first question I would like to invite first Mr. Joseph Huang and followed by Nintira and Walter. The first question is, could you please provide your observation or your insight about the impact of COVID-19 global pandemic to your own sector? What is the business implication of such impact? So your perspective is highly appreciated. So please, Mr. Joseph Huang.
Okay, thank you, moderator, Dr. Huang, all panelists, all participants. Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to attend this panel discussion. Yes, COVID-19 is not a black swan, but a black elephant. It beyond everyone's expectations, and the impact is huge. And the outbreak has caused a wide impact in Taiwan and in all over the world. For example, people's mobility was limited as government imposed regulations on transportation and interaction among people. Economy also entered a difficult time because global and domestic business activity were interrupted. As a financial institution, it is inevitable that our business will also be affected. The slowdown of business activity has led to the decline of first quarter profits of major Taiwanese banks. However, facing a tough situation, we continue to think how to mitigate the impact and help the society get back on the right track with our financial expertise and resources. Here is some measures we have taken. And first, still the banking industry first, because we think if we can maintain operation and stability of the bank, that it is the foundation of stability of the society. So we ensure continuity of our operation. And we set up the Central Emergency Response Team early in January 13th. And it close watch how the situation evolved and roll out business contingency plan to ensure the continuity of our service. And in 1 month, we have announced several important messages to all the employees, including, for example, the self-health management, prepare mask, washing hands, keeping spatial or social distancing, and testing every step temperature, and prohibiting business traveling. And yes, in February, we just give the 14 days leave pay for workers who have been abroad or their family has been abroad, because in that time it's high risky. And then we encourage all our employees to cancel their personal traveling overseas. And we just subsidize all the cancellation loans for our employees, because in that time, we just prepare for the worst case. Yes, and it seems better than our expectation. So until now, our service was uninterrupted. And the second part is to help our customer get through this difficult period. We're working with the government under its National Business Revitalization Plan. And we just lend to the SME suffering from the loss of business. And we offer the payment extension. And we help the individual who just suffer from the outbreak. And for example, currently until the past 3 months, all the banking industry already provide $28 billion loan to a client and the company who suffer from the outbreak. It's kind of about 800,000 individual and customers, corporate customers. And for example, this morning, I just went to attend a meeting to discuss with our government officer. The country prepared to issue stimulus coupon to all the people in Taiwan. That means 24 million people in Taiwan. And everyone can get, for example, $100 coupon. And that could be in paper and in digital form, for example, mobile payment, credit card. And we think banks can help to help the customers to get through this hardship. And the third part, we think it's very good to use our technology capability. Digitalization is an unstoppable trend, and we think the outbreak actually is accelerator. So we just force to use the digital, for example, work from home for our employee, and we provide every digital channel. And for example, for apply a loan for individual, currently more than 80% of our individual customers, they just apply loan from the internet or mobile. So we think, yes, the outbreak just impact a lot, and they just make a harsh time. But we always think the risk and the opportunity is two sides of a coin. So how to deal with the risk at the same time grab the opportunity. I think that's all my thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joseph Huang. So I would like to invite Nintira. So could you please give your perspective on this question?
Okay, thank you. I would like to thank you for Enterprise Asia to invite me to have a chance to share our opinion and what we have done during the crisis. Right? The first question is regarding the business implication and the impact to my sector. Right, our main business is in refinery business. Right, as Mr. Joseph already mentioned, the outbreak having widespread effect across the globe and economic activities have slowed down significantly. But global demand for fuel declined by 20%. And together with the situation that OPEC and their allies were unable to reach a production cutting agreement, then this led to an oversupply of oil and a sharp drop of crude oil price during March. And as demand for fuel consumption declined, then it adversely affected product crack spread, which directly impact the performance of the refinery business. The COVID-19 outbreak in Thailand caused demand for fuel consumption to decline, especially from tourism sector and aviation, which suspend services, right? The declaration of the state of emergency and the government's measures to prevent the spread of COVID-19 infection, which are social distancing, city lockdowns and curfew, restriction imposed on traveling between countries with active outbreaks, the decline in domestic demand for fuel consumption leading to refineries to lower their production level to an optimal level. And due to the significant decline in crude oil price during the first quarter, the refinery business will lead to record inventory loss, causing significant drop in refinery business performance. And next, for our oil distribution and oil service station business, right? The effect of the COVID-19 outbreak, where travel bans were imposed and effort promoting Thais to stay home, led to sales volume decline, both in oil retail and industrial market. Yeah. However, our subsidiary business in oil, non-oil, we call it non-oil, which are coffee shops and convenience shops, both inside the service station and outside. Though they got an impact of customer not coming into the shops, but the demand for food delivery are increasing. Okay, and for our investment in bio-based product business, the COVID-19 outbreak also affect the local demand for consumption of biodiesel fuel, which is to be mixed for diesel as a B10 or B20, and ethanol to be mixed with gasoline for gasohol. So the volume are dropping also. But as there was severe demand for alcohol and alcohol gel locally, so our subsidiary, which normally produce ethanol for fuel, extend to produce ethanol used for alcohol gel and disinfectant products as permitted by the Thai Excise Department, but normally we cannot produce them, which can help release the tight situation during the difficult time. For green energy or green electricity, our subsidiary business model has been mainly as green electricity wholesale type, which are solar, wind, hydropower, and the automobile associated company selling to the state enterprise. So their major impact mostly come from the weather conditions, right? Such as solar irradiation hours, monsoon season for wind, or seasonal water level for hydropower business. But on the other hand, as from the global strict lockdowns, the sea borders, and scale back economic activities, I think this contributed to an estimated of 17 decline in daily global CO2 emission compared to the 2019 figure. There's a report mentioned about that. And there are less PM 2.5 problems. However, we may need to pay attention and find a way to handle the waste from infected mass and waste from food delivery packaging, which increased sharply during the lockdown period. And for Bangchak, during the past 4 years, our coffee shop, which we ran as an eco brand, has replaced all plastic cups with biodegradable plastic and using biodegradable cup lid that the consumers can sip directly without the need for plastic straw. So that's in summarize what we are doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nintira. Thank you for your quite comprehensive information about the impact to refinery-based petroleum companies. Now, I would like to invite Walter. Could you please share with your perspective and observation? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for Enterprise Asia for inviting me to this webinar. The BDO Unibank is in the financial services industry in the Philippines. So the impact of COVID-19 is both internal and external. The first thing that we had to do internally was to make sure that our branches were open to be able to service our clients. So that was the first challenge that we've had. And given that there was no public transportation available in the city or nationwide, so we had to be able to mobilize our people to open the branches. So we opened our branches. We remained open during the COVID season, during this COVID period, and we were able to give them transportation, create our own transportation hubs, provide them hotels, provide them food, just to make sure that the clients would still be serviced. The second impact is really internal, as far as the businesses that we have lent to in the banks, and do we pay, or how do we help our clients who cannot even open their own businesses because they are not allowed to do so. So immediately upon the lockdown, we gave a 60-day extension period to all loans. We told our clients, if you're unable to come to work, if you're unable to access your files, you have 60 days, don't worry about it. We will give you this grace period, and we will not charge interest on interest. So penalties will not be charged to you. So that was our way of coming out and helping our clients in the business community as well. Obviously, the industries that have been impacted heavily are those in the tourism, oil and gas, but more of tourism, hotels, restaurants, and the like have the biggest impact to the country. Casinos as well, and everything that requires socialization of individuals. So given those two, we're now on our third month of lockdown in the Philippines. We're now on what we call a general community quarantine, where more businesses are allowed to open. Public transportation is there, but still on a limited scale. So we're now working with our clients. Obviously, we cannot meet them face to face, not all of them. So we're doing video conferencing and the like. So this is the new normal that we are working with. So thank you.
Thank you very much, all of your perspectives. I think for the COVID-19, based on the World Economic Forum's global risk, every annual ranking, then the infectious disease actually is not unexpected risk. Actually, already in the global top 10 risk as the number 10 in terms of the impact magnitude. So if we look at the current, in the last 3-4 months, the global economic lockdown and the tremendous impact to all of the sector has been, actually over expected by all of the people. So the second question, I would like to invite you to provide your input is. Now, most of the economy is thinking of the reopen the economy. So what if the COVID-19 will come back again, cause the much worse outbreak or pandemic again? So could we just stand for those kind of impact again? So some of you has already highlighted, for example, Joseph mentioned that from employee, your SME client, etc. So a lot of the key stakeholder related to your core business, you have already take some action to mitigate the impact. So my second practical impact to your business operation. Do you think that what is the business role for supporting our society or key stakeholder to mitigate the impact of the COVID-19, this kind of most of the people to most of the people is unexpected risk. To professional sustainability expert, actually is already on the pipeline for the expectation for pressing global sustainability risk. So from now on, do you think that after, especially the if it really happen for the economic recovery, the ESG sustainability issue that some of you have been already taking action, that those kind of action to support the key stakeholder for mitigating the impact, do you think that from now on any that kind of a much more sustainable measures or action or strategy for taking the challenge of those kind of more and more pressing risks, especially the coming risks, something like climate change, do you think that that will become a mainstream? Can I come back to Joseph again? You first, please.
Yes. I think Dr. Huang is really very good question. I think in the society, banking is the business which manage risk. We not only manage the risk by ourselves, we manage the risk for our customer, maybe for the society. So I think maybe in the past long history, the bank just care about, for example, liquidity risk, credit risk, or counterparty risk, just like that, or market risk. But currently, we have to think more. For example, currently the digitalization. So we think the cybersecurity is very important. And for this time, COVID-19, nobody expects that. But currently in the world, the confirmed case is more than 6 million. And the death toll is as high as 380,000 people. I think in Taiwan, the government and all the people did a good job because the confirmed case is only hundreds and the death toll is only 6 people. So yes, we did a good job in this COVID-19, but we think maybe we still have to live up with this COVID-19 for a long period, because it was until the cure, the vaccine is invented, then we can say yes, COVID-19 is over. So maybe it will take years to see what happened. And for example, the sustainability risk, just as Dr. Huang mentioned, for example, COVID-19, for example, climate change, how can we deal with them? I think it's a new topic for all the industry and for the banking industry especially. So we think maybe I would like to say some things we already do. For example, E.Sun incorporate United Nations SDG into our planning of strategy. For example, following SDG 13, climate action, we are actively working on green finance business and continuing to mitigate environmental risk. We are the leading banks in Taiwan signing Equator Principles, and 18 adopted deals have been approved. And in that time, somebody just argued if the bank sign Equator Principles, maybe we will lose some business opportunity. But in contrast of that, we learn a lot of things. We know how to control the risk, the impact to the society, and the impact to the environment. So for example, Taiwan would like to develop renewable power. So currently, the offshore wind power is quite popular in Taiwan, and E.Sun is the leading financing bank. We could be a financial advisor for a huge project. We think it is because we accumulate a lot of experience about that. And for example, in 2017, E.Sun is the first to join TCFD. And currently, we just measure what is the impact of the climate change. Can you impact our collateral? For example, some real estate just in the level C is high, so it's quite easy to be impact. Or, for example, the petroleum company, because currently, because of the CO2 emission, so what is the impact about the industry? What is our lending policy about that company? So we think that is the things we learned. And the second thing we think maybe we can participate ESG evaluation, just like BZSI, MSCI, or CDP to benchmark to international best practice and discover the new risk. We can learn a lot of things to look at the international standard. And the third part, actually, E.Sun actively engage with stakeholders. For example, this year, we conducted numbers of ESG meetings with our major foreign stockholders and knew their expectation and their feedback. So we think that is the good way to communicate with your stakeholders, especially your shareholders. So we think sustainability risk, just like climate change, are inevitable for companies and must be managed systematically. So for E.Sun, the best way to manage them is long-term investment and long-term mindset. And we believe if we always prepare for the worst, when the bad time is over, we will become stronger. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joseph. So now I would like to invite Nintira to provide your perspective to this question.
Right. Yeah, I'd like to share the mitigation that we have took it during the COVID. Right. First of all, I would like to explain that during the lockdown period, though our employees who work in the office have to stay and work from home, but the employees who operate refinery and service stations still have to work, as oil is national security item and operation cannot be stopped. So we have operating with measures. So we have assessed the situation and prepared operational guidelines to contain with the COVID-19 outbreak in 3 measures, which are safety measure, business continuity, and then a CSR. The first one, the safety measure. So we have the BCM, business continuity management, to encompass the epidemic crisis management plan and emphasize on safety and health of employees, customers, and associates. Yeah. We announced measures to prevent and control the spread of the COVID-19, which is closely monitored and systematically handled. The communication will consistently made to employees and associates to allow the business to still operate continuously. For the refinery, we adjust the operation hours for employee operate in the refinery in as shift to coincide with the curfew measure. Then we confine the perimeter of the control room building to provide an entryway to only related individuals. And we provide transport to and from between the refinery and the resident of employees operating in the control room. And we prepare area within the refinery as a makeshift living quarter in circumstance where the outbreak has become widespread. And for the service station, we have measures in place for strict management of hygiene at various touch points, such as staff at forecourt to wear medical masks at all times. Inquiries and observations are made along with body temperature measurement of employees consistently carried out. And we provide alcohol gel for cleaning hands at cashier box and dispensing area to boost the confidence of the customer. For at the coffee shop and convenience shop, the staff are mandatory to wear masks when they are on duty. And there's a distance setting for customer sitting of 1.5 meters apart in compliance to the social distancing in the home. The operating hours are restricted by the emergency decree also. In terms of Bangchak personnel, our people, the employee groups separation between refinery and office to reduce the infection risk and to maintain business continuity. Employees and visitors are required to undergo entry screening and temperature measurement when enter the refinery and buildings. And cloth mask and portable hand sanitizer were given to all employees. Yeah, we provide that for the all employees because it's kind of very difficult to find the market. Hand sanitizer have been placed around office various areas. There are alcohol white in touch point area and ozone sterilization in every floor. We have facilitated new normal of working practice and attitude work from home. We have made preparation in terms of personnel, daily operation, IT system, crucial to operation, so that the employee can work from home. The online meeting via Microsoft Teams, VPN accessibility, and cloud storage. We also have employee activity. The group employee had cooperative made clothes mask for the fellow employee, staff at service station, the coffee shop, and convenience store for their daily safety. The friend help the friend, made by hand. And we have the Facebook marketplace for BCP employees only. We call Bangchak D Market, have been hit by being a platform for all Bangchak employees to sell his or her products online during the work from home period. And then we have the Plant the Seed project, which the company gives seeds and planting kits to encourage employees to grow vegetables at home as a relaxing recreational activity during the work from home period. Second one, the business continuity measure. For oil production and distribution, the refinery closely monitor the market to adjust its production level to coincide with the falling market demand. And for non-oil business, as the outbreak affecting number of incoming customers, then we focus on increasing sales via delivery service. For financial, we re-evaluate and adjust plan for OPEX and CAPEX, like or delay. However, such postponement must not hinder the core business and has to follow principle of law and must give utmost regard to safety. As such, our group was able to decrease OPEX spending by approximately 20% and reducing and postponing CAPEX spending by 15%. And for liquidity management, the company revised measures for credit line approval, closely monitor and collecting customer debt. We also secure funds, both short-term and long-term loan as contingency. Right? Last month, we just have a 8 billion baht debenture issuance to redeem maturing debenture this year and reserve for financial management. And we also set up a committee named Innovation Continuity Task Force to brainstorm ideas from employees to find an alternate source of earning and keep pace with the ever-changing business landscape post-COVID-19. Every Friday afternoon, we invite all employees to join the session TGIF Think Great It's Friday to create and develop new cross-function idea project business to increase business income and reduce costs, business process redesign, entrepreneur, that kind of thing. We still have that. I think until it's going to be in August. Okay. So it's the window for all employees to throw in that idea, new idea. Third is the corporate social responsibility. We have supported government agency and the public through various social activities. It's always been our mission under the Bangchak Group Stronger Together to all stakeholders. We set Bangchak service station as a free alcohol gel refilling station to help facilitate people when there was a lack of alcohol and gel alcohol. Later, we start selling at a very special price alcohol gel and alcohol spray at service station. Okay. We deliver 300,000 bottles of hand sanitizing alcohol gel to the Ministry of Energy for free distribution. And our subsidiary Internet Coffee Shop is joined as a face mask distribution point via its brand to distribute the government good quality, cheap price face mask to ensure the mask reach people fast and comprehensively. For the community and society, we have made donation of cloth masks and survival kits to elderly in communities nearby refinery to support health protection. And apart from medical innovation donations, we also send free of charge internet drinks, oil prepaid cards to medical staff and various state agencies to be part of the relief attempt during the crisis. And we organized recently the Barrel of Happiness, oil barrel, in service station and at various locations in communities to allow those who wish to donate into the barrel with various consumables for those who in need to take or consume. And on this Friday, June 5th, we will set up plastic drop point at Bangchak service station to collect the 12 kinds of plastic to be recycled This campaign is to help manage the high amount of plastic waste during COVID-19 crisis. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Very comprehensive. A lot of information about how Bangchak has already done for mitigating the impact. And I would like to come back to Walter. So please have your feedback.
Yes, okay, thank you. I believe the question is business role in sustainability risk mitigation and ESG matters. First of all, I guess our responses to the recent COVID-19 have got to be institutionalized. Lessons learned from this should not be BCP only, but should be business as usual moving forward. Like for one, decentralization of operations vis-a-vis centralization of people. When you put most of your people in one area, then risk is greater than decentralizing them. Transportation closure also helps that. The next is really ESG risk assessment on potential affected sectors. And this does not only go for COVID-19, but for climate changes as well and the impact that they may have. We're doing now risk stress testing exercises on credit evaluation, institutionalize ESG in our credit evaluation processes. We are helping our customers likewise look at their own ESG risk management requirements so that they too will be able to be sustainable in the event that any of this risk should happen again or when it will happen again. BCP obviously have got to take on various scenarios. I mean, initial scenarios taken for BCP never looked into a globalized pandemic. This was a scenario that we didn't plan for. Now we have it, we were able to respond, but those responses should now be institutionalized. We also will provide liquidity to the sectors of our company or the sectors of our client, MSME, to mitigate their credit risk and to help them recover from where they are. Likewise, moving forward, their ability to address this risk will also be assessed. Guidance will be given to customers on how to ensure sustainability in their businesses by incorporating ESG and pandemic responses. So as we review our clients, we review their credit risk, we will show them the way of how to mitigate so that they themselves can survive in the event of any of these catastrophes that should hit either the country or the whole world. So I guess it's an ongoing thing. ESG is not there for today. It's got to be imbibed in everything that we do. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Very good point. I think ESG is not just only something like a one-time shop. You know, it's an ongoing issue. So the third question, I think, will be the key part of today's webinar. But before we moving forward, I just look at the background for today's participant. We have a participant from Philippines, Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia. So mainly from these four countries and covering from quite diversified sector from mobile, vehicle, logistic, food, creative, and also from financial, publishing, and property, ICT technology sectors, and also including from education, academic, professor, research. So thank you all for joining us today's webinar. And then I would like to invite all of the participants in the meantime, please to help us to like the post and share the webinar to your friend, and feel free to even host a watch party. So thank you for your cooperation. I would like to move to the third question, very important part, but also I look at some of the questions from the participant. The third question will focus on, just like Walter has already mentioned, ESG, not just only look at the COVID-19, but also climate change, and then a lot of ongoing should be institutionalized. That is very important from the governance top to the bottom, or button to the top. So the participant has already asked about the similar question that we have already keep hearing, that the pandemic of COVID-19 seems an opportunity for the whole world to transfer systematically into a low carbon, green, or circular economy. So how about a win-win, but actually it's a win-win-win. We call it a triple bottom line. So how about the business model, business strategy, the future corporate governance can achieve the triple bottom line, a balance in the economic return benefits, but also the environmental and social issues can be also taken good care of. So the question for Joseph and Walter, because you are from the financial sector, so some participants also asked about how about the current situation, for example, like the green bond, some other ESG related financial product or service, whether that will becoming the mainstream in the pipeline for the deliver or provided by the financial sector. What do you think about all of the speaker, that the step that the company can adopt gradually, just to follow what Walter has provided, is institutionalize, embed the ESG into the corporate business strategy or operation. So far, the main purpose is that we have a COVID-19, but we also have another pressing global sustainability risks. So what is the institutionalized structure so far, so that can ensure that all of the business, we can ensure ourselves that we, no matter what kind of a risk is going to happen, and then we are capable to handle the humongous impact imposed or caused by some potential pressing global sustainability risk. So I have already integrated some of the question from the participant, but also for this webinar's main theme. So please to provide your feedback to those questions. So may I invite Joseph first? Oh, sorry. One of the questions also include that how about we can engage the different stakeholder that on board, then bring them on board so everybody is willing to collaborate together. Because for sustainability, I think that nobody can do it alone. Stakeholder collaboration is very important from now on. So we need to make that happen, because that is also collaboration and partnership is also one of very important sustainable development goals. Yes, Joseph, please. Joseph, do you hear me? You got your mic is mute.
Okay, sure. All right. So yes, I'm sorry because the bad communication. So maybe I will lose some words or questions, but I just do my best. I think yes, ESG is very important. Just as Dr. Huang said that the triple bottom line is not only profit, which concern the people, which concern the environment. So that is the spirit of ESG. So we think it is very important and concept. For E.Sun, we think yes, we just issue a green bond when our government just launched the regulation about the green bond. E.Sun is the first, and I think currently it's the biggest to issue the green bond by ourselves. So we learn a lot of experience then now we can help our client to issue the green bond. So we think that is good. And the second part, we have already mentioned the renewable energy policy in Taiwan. That means in 2025, renewable energy will represent 20% of the whole country. Currently, it's kind of only 5%. So that will be 4 times. So there should be a lot of investment. And we know that every investment needs the backup for the financial institution. So currently, we just support the offshore wind power very much. We are the leading banks in Taiwan. And the third part, for the ESG, we always think we have to combine the ESG into your strategy. For example, we issue a lot of credit card. Currently, our market share is kind of about 15% in this country. We are top 3 credit card issuer. And every credit card we issue currently is carbon neutral credit card because we already cooperate with our government to measure the footprint of the card. And then we can neutralize. So every credit card when we issue actually is the zero carbon emission credit card. And I think our cardholders just like the idea because they think they just did a good thing. And for example, we just combined with our VIP customer when they hold the World Card of E.Sun, every consumption they made, then we will donate 0.3% of that consumption to a foundation and to build library in remote area of Taiwan. Until now, we already built 151 libraries. And for example, the day after tomorrow, there will be 2 new open libraries. And we just hear a lot of our VIP customers say they really like that when they consumption, because they are rich people, because they are VIP customers. Every time they consumption, then they can help the poor students to have a very good reading environment and to help them to get the good education. So we think not only in the concept, but how do you incorporate the concept with your strategy and then to provide a service and provide a product. So we think, we always don't think it's a trade-off, ESG with the profit. We think you should combine together. And we would like E.Sun to be a very good model to get balance between ESG and the profit. That is the so-called triple line, bottom line. So I think to be a business, our optimal purpose actually is to sustainable development, just as the sustainability is the same concept. And the business, the purpose of the business is to improve life of people and to make our society a better, get better. So I think how to incorporate your ESG into your operation strategy and to pursue the sustainability actually is the goal of the company.
Thank you very much. So now I would like to invite Nintira to provide your feedback.
Yes, to include the ESG and the sustainability, in fact, we put it in our value. If you see my back, you see the P, I am, that's a value, and pursuit of sustainability. So it's already embedded in our company value, and the employee is already well aware of that. It's kind of in our DNA that we are the one who are a good person, knowledgeable, and willing to be useful for the others. That kind of our belief of the DNA of our employees. So as you can notice from the business we do, we try to, on one hand, we are the produce of the CO2, but on the other hand, we try to offset it on the carbon emission by investing in the green electricity to be carbon neutral in the future, and also try to persuade our customer to join the activity that can help the society. Apart from the barrier of happiness, the plastic bag, also the plastic bottle that we can collect it and then recycle and reproduce as a hat and shirt and give back to the Bangkok metropolitan worker along the road, the road biker thing, that kind of thing. And I think that from the COVID crisis, we see that the trend of the mindset of people seem to be, we think of touchless, cashless, and selfless, and more collaboration, right? Because when people stay at home and they tend to understand themselves and enjoy the nature, and then back to basic, and they think of sharing more, to luxury may be no longer number one priority, right? Sharing is more important during the crisis time. And for us, what do we do in terms of sustainability? We put it in our operation. So we continue to concentrating in the operation in process to make it lower emission, the greenhouse gas emission offset, the water management, water footprint in the refinery. We've done that. Waste management using 3R concept, extending from refinery to subsidiary, the energy efficiency project to use clean fuel in production process, right? And also, as we noticed that maybe the IT thing, the cybersecurity is more and more important, because if the more we work from home, maybe the chance of the cybersecurity issue. So we need to pay attention more on that, okay? And we also adhere and encourage the sufficiency economic philosophy of the concept from the previous king of Thailand concept. We still stick to that concept in our operation, and try to educate the surrounding stakeholders, clients, and also the school, the kids nearby, that kind of thing. So I think that's roughly that we are doing. Okay.
Thank you very much, Nintira. So I'd like to invite Water to provide your feedback. Thank you.
Yes. First of all, let me say that BDO was also one of the first banks, or was the first bank to have a green bond out of the Philippines. Of the 7,700 megawatt renewable energy created in the Philippines, BDO financed about 28% of that. So we have been very much into financing green energy for the last 10 years now. We have been there, we've partnered with IFC in the past, and we continue to do that. And sustainability, or ESG, is really being implemented in all sectors in our country. Banking is already part of it with the recent Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas central bank requirement for a sustainability finance framework among all banks. And most or all the banks are now starting to imbibe all of this. The thing that needs to be improved is really the impact to the public of this, because all stakeholders of every institution must be involved. Because you cannot say, yes, we want to be green, but on the other hand, we make sure that we retain your interest spread on your bond to be this much. So there's no difference between the spread on a green bond and a non-green bond. So, and the investors have also got to be part of it, not only the institutions involved. So it's really all stakeholders. Customers, investors, management, everything. So I think sustainability is really the key to economic recovery. And as mentioned previously, that it has to be a part of life. It has to be imbibed in everything that we do moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think based on almost 1 hour's discussions, and also including the feedback from the participants. There are several key messages I would like to wrap up a little bit, and I will come back to invite each one of the distinguished speaker to give 1.5 minutes, 90 seconds, your final conclusion to today's subject. I think based on what is going on, what has been already happened in the last several months because of the COVID-19 global pandemic, we see that the whole world need to have a very sensitive new radar about the global risk issues. So infectious disease is one of, nobody expect that is going to happen in 2020. We suppose that climate change might be the first tremendous impact, big issue to all of us. But infectious disease has already become the first one that is something like a wake-up call, you know. So I think that we need to build up a much more sensitive new radar for business, the publics, and also the government, even for the global capital market. The new radar should be sensitive enough to the pressing sustainability risk. So that is the first number one. The second, during the tumbling situation, especially the crash down of the global market in several parts of the world during the global pandemic, then we noticed that the stock market, you know, crashed down or significant decrease of all of the index. And then, but there is one kind of a group of company, ESG outperformance company or climate oriented solution provider. It seems very defensive for the crash down of the stock market. So the ESG has already demonstrated to all of us the company might be might be much more quicker to take action corresponding to a lot of emergence issues, emergence risk like COVID-19. So just like what our distinguished speaker has been already highlight, a lot of action they take care of their client, their customer, their employee, some stakeholder. But one of the participants mentioned, just follow Waters' comments, institutional capacity in the company. So from the governance to the button, the whole company's embedment of the ESG become very important part. And then we also need to have a matrix, you know, the KPI evaluation, and then we can differentiate whether the department BU has become, has done a pretty good job in taking action corresponding to the urgent risk or some pressing challenges. And I think the whole world before the COVID-19, then we have already kicked off the systematic transformation. For example, like Bangchak has already transferred from fossil fuel-based business to a lot of renewable-based, bio-based business. Even maybe currently it's a small portion, but we can expect that kind of transformation will become the main key focus area for the company's business. And back to the financial sectors like BDO and E.Sun Bank, there are a lot of sustainable finance, new initiative, new product and service has been already available in the market right now. ESG loan, green bond, ESG investment, etc. So nobody can do it alone. I think just like participant has already highlighted, we need to have a better vehicle, better communication tool to engage all of us to be on the same boat. Yeah, because we just only have one planet. So that is very important. So I would like to have every one of you just please very short, 60 seconds will be the best. So please have your final conclusion to today's webinar. So Joseph, please. but your microphone is mute.
Okay, sure. I think I have 3 points to sharing. On the first, in this time, COVID-19, Taiwan did a good job. But compared to 17 years ago, 2003, the SARS really hit Taiwan. And I think it's quite... Oh, really? My microphone is mute. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. The first point, actually, in this time, COVID-19, Taiwan did a good job. But compared to 17 years ago, 2003, the SARS really hit Taiwan. It's quite miserable history in Taiwan. So we think, lesson one, you have to learn the experience and then to go forward to the future, and you can do better. And the second point is, bank can help. When we help our clients, including individual and companies, actually, we just help the bank itself because we are a team. The country or the world is a team. When you help others, actually, finally, you just help yourself. And the third point we just mentioned, maybe COVID-19, it's just like a black elephant. And I think the climate change is black dinosaur. So we should put focus on climate change because the impact maybe will be 10 times, 100 times than the COVID-19. So just keep watch, and we have to do something today. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. So may I move to Nintira? So please keep it very short. Thank you so much.
Yes. As a person, I think that it's everybody's responsibility to help to do the best to our world. And as a company, I think we Bangchak still continue to do the business, which is great for the world also, right? We diversify business into renewable energy and innovation things, and may go deeper in greener production like Euro 5 standard, whatever, and high value bio-based product that we are interested also, bio-meat things, that kind of thing. So I hope we can see the collaboration from the others, and also we see the sharing atmosphere in our society. Thank you.
Thank you. So Walter, please.
Yes. One, sustainability is not just a trend that will go out of style. Sustainability is the key, not only to survive, but to thrive amidst climate change and pandemic. And the last is sustainability is now embedded in the way we conduct our lives. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I would like to take this opportunity to appreciate the organizer, Enterprise Asia, to organize today's webinar. Also, very grateful to 3 distinguished panelists. We hope we still have some other chance to exchange. There's a lot of information, experience, and view on the important sustainability issue. Thank you all of the participants to participate today's webinar. And if you need to have more further information, please visit Enterprise Asia's website. Thank you so much. Thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.